What is up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to the next episode of Three Peaks Fitness Podcast. I'm Coach Mark.
I'm Coach Lynette.
Coach Lynette, I have a question for you.
Okay.
How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
Love it.
Today we are talking about 5-minute actions.
Yes, this is one of my favorite things to talk about. I
Yeah.
love the 5-minute action.
Yeah, this
It's
is a good one.
life-changing.
Yeah.
And we're going to try and do this podcast in 5 minutes or less.
I know. Yeah, we only have like 10 minutes, so we got to get this thing going. So if we're talking fast, that's why.
Okay. So this is why I love this. This is why I love this, because this is one of the most life-changing practices you can put in your life is the 5-minute action. So the problem that everyone has is they're either overwhelmed or not motivated. So say you want to clean out your garage and it's full of junk, you're overwhelmed, you end up not doing anything. Or the same thing with health or fitness, you end up not doing anything. Or you're not motivated. Oh, I'm too tired to go for a jog. So the 5-minute action helps you break through a lack of motivation or feeling overwhelmed. And this is how it works. Say I am supposed to go for a 5-mile run. I do not feel like going for a 5-mile run. I don't have the energy. I'm tired. But I talk myself into going for a 5-minute walk. And so when I'm out there, I'm walking for 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'll jog a little bit. All right. And then before you know it, it's a mile. Okay. Yeah. And then you end up doing the whole thing if you want to. Or maybe you just do the 5-minute walk. That's fine too.
Yeah.
But this is the secret to breaking through that lack of motivation. Same thing with like cooking dinner. Like, all right, I'm just going to slice up a cucumber. That's all I'm going to do. Just slice up a cucumber. Just get started.
Yeah.
Do something that takes less than 5 minutes, and that's how you break through. You had something interesting that you wanted to say about the 5-minute action. You said something about Mount Everest.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, because it's when we have these big, audacious goals, right, as fitness is, right, especially if you're talking about wanting to lose a lot of weight or just get going on your fitness journey. So we have these huge goals, and it's human nature to kind of become fixated on the finish line.
Yeah.
Right? So the example I kind of use is it's like, well, if you're climbing Mount Everest, it's not helpful to stare at the peak because number one, you probably can't see it, right?
Yeah.
And number two, after that initial excitement wears off, you'll keep thinking about how far you still have to go. So what if you instead set a tiny goal for that insurmountable task?
Yeah.
Right? Like the question we asked earlier.
Yeah.
How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's kind of the power of 5-minute actions, right? So a couple examples I had, right? Like if you know that you need to focus on your nutrition, right? Instead of saying, okay, I'm going to meal prep all of my meals for this week, right? And then getting to like Sunday evening and you're like,
I'm tired. I don't want to do it.
Right. Yeah. So instead of doing something huge like that, just commit to say, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes and research a healthy recipe I want to make this week.
Yeah.
Right. So something related, but not so overwhelming. Right. Or if you want to be more active, I guess you kind of already used this example, right? But instead of saying, I'm going to work out every day for an hour, say, I'm going to be active for 5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Right. Could be walking. Yeah. Could be maybe on Tuesday I feel motivated and I do go to the gym.
Yeah.
Right. Wednesday, maybe I just want to do a couple squats, a couple push-ups, but the goal, these 5-minute actions are helpful because it allows you to make progress towards your goal, feel a sense of accomplishment, while still giving you the flexibility and kind of giving you an out on those days that are just too busy, where that huge goal just can't quite fit in to the calendar.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're mentally in a different place when you make yourself do 5 minutes of some kind of activity. On those days when you can't get to the gym or do the big thing that you want to do fitness wise. Yeah. If you're able to do 5 minutes or less of, whatever your bare minimum is, maybe it's 20 squats, whatever it is, if your head is still in the game. Yeah. Your head is still in the game. And then the next day you're able to go to the gym. But if you're just like day after day, I couldn't do the workout. It's just failure. But you give yourself a win when you're like, okay, like yesterday I couldn't do my workout. So I went up and down my stairs before I went to bed. I'm like, I'm going to go up and down these stairs 10 times. That's what I'm doing.
Nice.
And that was my workout for the day. I was like, okay, that's my 5 minutes.
Yeah. And so speaking of 5 minutes, we're closing in on 5 minutes now. So the solution, right? If you're in a situation where you've been struggling, you feel like you are having a difficult time accomplishing these big fitness goals that you have, just pick one goal.
Yeah.
Right? Pick one kind of big, more general goal, right? Maybe you want to work on what you're eating. Maybe you want to work on being more active. Then instead of setting these big goals, break it down into small little chunks,
tiny
right?
pieces.
Like a 5-minute thing. So if your goal is I want to work on my nutrition, say, okay, today I'm just gonna cut up some vegetables for dinner.
I'm gonna slice a cucumber.
Right?
Yeah.
Or if your goal is I want to be more active, okay, today I'm going to go for a 5-minute walk. And what you'll find is that momentum carries a lot of times.
It gives you momentum.
Yeah, a lot of times 5 minutes turns into 10, 15, 20, 25 towards whatever that big goal is.
Right.
But if it doesn't, that's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to lead into it, but sometimes it does.
Yeah.
So, it's really cool. So that's how you break through lack of motivation and overwhelm.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Good job.
Hopefully this was helpful, guys. We got it. What is that? A little over 5 minutes. All right.
There we go.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
Talk to you next time.
All right, bye.